Hello everyone, my name's Shalise. Welcome now everybody to my Vampire Diaries Season 8 versus original Season 5 review. I'm making this video because I want to make a video of which one I believe is a better series finale, which one had the better final season, which one supported their characters better. This is basically which one did the better ending for the respective TV shows, the original Season 5 or Vampire Diaries Season 8. And since this Legacies is on a mid-season break, I said, well, okay, why not? Let's do this video. And I'm going to separate this entire video into 5 categories. The first category will be story and the final goodbye, what they did for it. Second thing would be side characters. Third would be returning old characters. Fourth would be new characters. And fifth would be inconsistencies with each of the seasons. So let's start off with the vampires, everybody. Now, if I have to describe I have to put one word to describe this entire final season of Vampires, it's Judgment Day. 2 words, sorry. But the whole thing about Judgment Day is basically what comes after. Where will these characters go at the end? This entire show has made them into bloodthirsty killers, and they're questioning themselves where they're going to go at the end. Damon is wondering if he's going to go to hell. He doesn't really care. Stefan wonders where he's going to probably go. And this entire thing about this entire season is like, will we ever find peace? Will we ever find that peace that we don't deserve, but the fans deserve? And I believe this season did a great job with that. I think they did a great final goodbye for all their characters. I think each one found their own peace at the end, in a way. And they really questioned whether or not these group of killers, which is Damon, Stefan, and Enzo, who have been murderous vampires who's done the worst things imaginable to people on this earth, and yet will they find peace? During this time, during the things that question them, the people that question them are the sirens who work for Arcadius or the devil himself from hell. And this entire thing goes whether or not these brothers could find redemption, whether any of these characters, how far they're willing to go, how much more are they willing to get more blood on their hands, how much further will they abandon their friends. And to me, I think this season was a very good season for like what it is supposed to be. It's just the constant fear of whether or not they're going to be judged and whether they could live with themselves at the end of this, if they could live an entire eternity of being alive, but could they live with themselves knowing that they are still these kills and they still continue doing bad things? Now, the original's final season, it was for the original's final season. This entire arc was that the family was separated at the end of season 4, so we're getting all of our characters coming back once again to see each other. And what was this entire season about? This is mostly, to me, in my opinion, that they were just building off for the spin-off show Legacies starring Hope Michelson. To me, I don't think this season did a good job of having their characters have a good ending. I mean, the entire arc for this entire season is they are separated, but they're not forgotten. They keep thinking about each other. Then Haley gets kidnapped, and there's a search for Haley. Then there's the grief over her death. Then it's just a very depressing season. We get to see our characters at our lowest. We get to see our characters just cannot believe that one of the main characters is gone, Haley, and now they're grieving that maybe Hope will now be taken, and it leads to a very underwhelming, to me, finale. I mean, this entire show was just building up Hope and what she's gonna do at the Salvatore school, teenage romance, and all that stuff. We didn't get really a proper goodbye. This entire scene just really gave Hope Michelson more baggage to bring with her to the Legacy spinoff. To me, I believe the original season 5 the final season was greatly affected because the Legacy spinoff was greenlit, it was okayed, and because of that, we can't have Klaus Michelson around or Elijah Michelson. To me, I think this is the worst ending for his TV shows in the entire, not just in the series, but not in the Vampire Diaries and original seasons combined. I'm talking about in TV in general. This is one of the worst series, one of the worst season finales of a series I have ever seen. This entire season, to me, did not respect the original characters. They pushed them aside to make new characters for the spin-off and to build them up, instead of focusing on the old characters and to building up new characters, or creating new characters to help build up our old characters and make them better. But sad to say, that's what the original season 5 was all about. It was just to promote. Now let's go with the side characters, or the main characters for category 2 of this entire video. Now, the side characters of the Vampires, what was happening with all these characters? Damon and Enzo were under the influence of Sybil, the new siren, who was influencing them to do bad things, to say that, oh, you're going to hell, so you better as well work for me, and I'll give you eternal life. And during this entire time, every single character is connected. Since the great thing about the Vampires, everyone is connected like such a family. Bonnie is dating Enzo. She's best friends with Damon, so she wants to save them. Stefan is Damon's brother, so he wants to save him. And Caroline's along for the ride because she wants to be there by Stefan's side. Alaric is there to not only raise his own kids, but to watch over Damon, and also besides his own kids, he's just trying to protect Damon, who's his best friend. Matt is just really the guy who has collateral damage right now, and he's just trying to stop all his friends from killing each other, from hurting each other, from basically hurting everyone else that ain't his friends, just random civilians. But each character has an arc throughout this entire season. Each character has a point. It makes sense for where their characters are coming from for the final season. They're protecting their own, trying to protect each other, and that's what the main thing is all about. They're together, and they're gonna try to stay together as long as they can, and try to help each other. And for the main characters for this season, I say each character had a good arc, had a good story. I was happy with mostly every single character for the main characters that we had for this entire season. So yeah, Vampire season 8 knocked out of the park for side characters. Married, and then it's just really a lot of relationship drama with Freya. And Rebecca and Marcel, they had probably the worst arc this entire season. Since they were doing their own thing, Rebecca didn't want to be with Marcel because she believes she's such a Debbie Downer person. She's such a depressed person. She'll bring Marcel down with her. Yes, it's that stupid. And don't get me started on Vincent Griffin. They give him a new interesting character to have for a love interest, and then they kill her off, and then he becomes a sperm donor for Freya and Keelan's child. It's idiotic, it's stupid for what they did for these characters. Now going back to Marcel, not Marcel, we got Klaus and Haley. Haley died. Haley's dead in the second episode, so she doesn't really have a character arc in this one. Her death is what brings out more for the other characters. Klaus grieves more. We see a different side of him. That's good, but for considering all the other characters that are in this entire season, and the season finale, a lot of these characters that were so good throughout the entire seasons of the originals and from the entire series, it was just tragic from what they did to Vincent, to Marcel, to Rebecca, to Freya, to Cole. And we didn't even get to Vina for the final episode. I mean, she's married to Cole Michelson. She's a Michelson, but whatever. Whatever. I'm just pissed off for what they did for the entire main characters. The only ones that had good arcs was Hope, Elijah, and Klaus. That was it. Can't say much about the other characters, though. So for the main characters, the originals didn't do a good job for a lot of them. Now the third category is now the returning old characters from the Vampire Diaries and originals. And let's start off with the Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries relied heavily upon the use of old characters. And I'm going to talk about the finale. The finale, of course you're going to have all these old characters popping in and around. But the old characters that they constantly were bringing back was Kai and Catherine, the two of the best villains of the Vampire Diaries. And for the most part, I think they used them pretty dang well. I liked how Kai came back. It made sense in the case, and so did Catherine. Even though her ruling after Arcadius' death was kind of bullshit, but whatever. I say the only character I did not like that they returned and they just automatically just destroyed was Tara Lockwood. They destroyed Tara Lockwood. I mean, I feel sorry for the fans who actually liked Tyler Lockwood and then he was killed off that way. I mean, his entire death was totally unnecessary. Did nothing for the story, in my opinion. I mean, Damon killed Tyler. Oh, God. He's going to feel bad about it. People are going to forgive him. Tyler eventually found his peace. And Damon, we all know what happened. So, to me, it's no big deal. I mean, it was just a wasted thing to bring Tyler back just to kill him off. So, other than that, the returning characters, returning old characters, they did a good job for the Vampire Diaries for the most part. A very good job. Now, the originals. They didn't do nothing for returning old characters. They did nothing for these returning old characters. No Aurora. She was under a sleeping spell. For the final season, you cannot bring back Aurora. And don't get me that. I could think of so many reasons how they could have got her back. The vampire faction, that Nazi vampire faction that in New Orleans, they had a witch. They couldn't resurrect Aurora. They couldn't. They couldn't bring not resurrect her, but wake her up for the damn sleeping spell. We can't have her back for the final freaking season. No, no. Oh, Davina, she doesn't even show up in the final episode. She shows like the episode before. I don't understand why. I mean, she's married to Cole Michelson. She's a Michelson. I've been over this already. Every Camille and Michael, they were both cameo appearances. It's the same thing like Caroline and her mother in the Vampires finale. It was that short of a cameo. Returning characters, nothing. The best ones they had was a Lark and Caroline. They had a Lark there so he could promote him in the spinoff. And Caroline's there because we had to give that Caroline Klaus romance, even though it makes no sense because when you kill them off, there's no need for progress in this relationship or a final goodbye because I don't think everyone who was waiting for to put those two together and then you don't put them together and you kill one of them off, it's just automatically stupid and insulting to them. Don't play with the heartstrings of fans. Don't try to put people together if you have never intention of putting them together. That's my opinion anyway. So for returning old characters, the originals failed again for season 5 again for this category. Now the fourth category, new characters. Who are the new characters from the Vampire Diaries? We got Sybil and Celine, the sirens that work for Arcadius, and they basically are immortal. They take people to hell for that, and they are very interesting characters, especially Sybil. Sybil's a great character, a great villain, one of the best Vampire villains you're gonna have, and she just makes it so very interesting. She's a new character that helps the new characters help our old characters into better characters, and I just love that. I love how Sybil makes our characters grow in many cases, how they find themselves differently and how they react differently. And I loved also the introduction of Matt's dad. We get Matt's background with his father. Great stuff. Great stuff. And then we have Arcadius, the king of hell. Love Arcadius. Love him as a villain. The whole thing about where he captures all the souls and he likes to see people hurt each other. I mean, he's a very interesting, cool character. And again, he tests the brothers of whether or not you're going to hell, whether or not you're going to find peace. Your soul belongs to me. And I love it. I love every single thing about with Arcadius and the new characters of the Vampire Diaries. Very kick-ass new characters. Love them. Now, new characters for the originals. Since technically Hope is a new character because it went to a fast-forward timeline, and now Hope is a young teenager now. And what do you expect? She's doing teenage stuff. We get to one character named Roman who is infiltrating the Salvatore boarding school to spy on Hope and basically to get used by his mother. And his character is just really building up towards a spinoff of basically, again, the entire thing about the spinoff is will we be the heroes or the villains of our own stories? Utter crap. New characters also introduced. We get this Nazi. I'm forgetting her name. This Nazi branded leader of the vampires of New Orleans. She's a purist. She wants to wipe off werewolves hybrid. Well, she doesn't want to wipe out werewolves. She wants to be the superior race. Not overall that good. Then we have Vincent Griffin's character Ivy. Yeah, new interesting character, like her as a witch, but then you kill her off, so what's the point of having her around if you're just going to kill off a new character so fucking quickly and to interact with a main character romantically? It's stupid. It's just plain stupid to introduce new characters and then just to come off so bad. I mean, and then also not to mention Haley's boyfriend who was not needed. You could just said get the not Caroline, Leia Pipe's character. Camille has a family member now, and he's going to be charged of the Human Council. They really need him has a love interest with Haley. No, we really didn't. We really didn't need him. And Roman, again, I didn't really care for her. The only new character I liked was Antoinette, Elijah's new love interest. She was an interesting character that they did not kill off, thank God. And I kind of wish they was just stuck with her for a bit more. Maybe she'll be in the spinoff because she still survived. And I liked her. I really believed the romance between her and Elijah. So, yeah, one character out of 6 that they brought to the originals. Not the greatest thing. So, yeah, everyone, the originals, They do a great job for introducing new characters as well either. So there's that. Now, the fifth category is inconsistencies. These are the major flaws with both the entire seasons and why these seasons kind of mess up. Let's start with Vampire Diaries. Vampire Diaries has the staff of Arcadius. This is a thing that basically hurts any psychic in the area. It literally hurts them or any siren or anyone that's connected to Arcadius. And there's this in episode 3. Alaric uses this to knock out Sybil, or to make her feel pain. Then 2 episodes later, Enzo uses it and it hurts Bonnie by accident. But the thing is, though, the entire scene was the reason why it doesn't work because, and this might be nitpicking, but Bonnie was there when Alaric uses the staff on Sybil. And it didn't affect her then, but it affects her now. And people could say it's nitpicking, but it's her Bonnie's character is a big part of season 8 and why she's a psychic now. Why it affects her. So I kind of feel like the writers didn't know what they wanted to do really for finale. And I believe the Sapphire case was a major flaw. Another major flaw with this entire season 8 of the Vampire Diaries was certain things like Caroline would not do. Like, there's this one girl that turned into a vampire, and Caroline said she would be there for her. She said that she'll train her, and not even a day later, she's killed off. So Caroline wasn't there. Caroline, the character, would never do that. She would stick with this newbie vampire the first time and teach her the ropes. But instead, Caroline just abandons her and she gets killed off and she's sent to hell. Another thing I did not like was the whole thing, since Arcadius dies, who's in charge of hell? Is it not Sybil? Or Celine, one of the sirens that worked for Kid all this time? No, it's Catherine. I mean, I get it, we need to have her as the final villain, but it doesn't make all that much sense. But all things considered, the inconsistencies did piss me off a great deal. And there's this one scene in that same episode with Sybil. Was that one scene where Damon is like, the group is trying to capture both Damon and Enzo, and when Sybil goes down by Alaric in that same episode I was talking about earlier, episode 3, Enzo charges at Alaric, and Caroline snaps his neck, but they let Damon walk off, get into his car, and drive away. And later that episode he kills Tyler, so it's just stupid writing in many cases. But yeah, everyone, that's my inconsistencies for the Vampire Diaries Season 8. Now, the originals. Inconsistency doesn't even describe this garbage. Okay, the Hollow is put into Klaus once again because it is killing Hope. And now it's killing Klaus. In no point do the writers ever think about putting back the Hollow back into the 4 originals. Someone mentions this to Freya, and she's like, but then we'll be separated again. And that's the end of the conversation. I cannot stand. I cannot stand that they didn't just put the Hollow back into 4 people. I cannot understand why they didn't put the Hollow inside Aurora and kill her off. I mean, there's so many things they could have possibly done to save Klaus. And then, don't forget, the White Oak Stake returns. And Klaus uses this to kill himself and Elijah. The White Oak Stake was a major story arc for Season 3. How the originals were terrified that they might die. About the prophecy that one of them will fall by friend, foe, and family. And how the White Oak Stake needs to be destroyed now. The last White Oak was gone. You could have done something more with Marcel's venom. But Klaus pulling Rabbit out of his hat and literally bringing out a White Oak to kill both him and Elijah is stupid. Klaus said he had that for decades with Caroline. Why would he have the White Oak Stake? He's been paranoid about it. The timelines make no sense. The person who wrote original Season 5 had no idea about the previous season and her arcs. When you have an entire season developing into the whole Last of the White Oak, you do not pull and bring another White Oak back. It's stupid, it's sloppy, it was lazy. And that is a major reason why this season fails. No consistency with the past seasons. Just utter freaking garbage. And that's the biggest inconsistency with this entire season. And it's a big one because it kills off the main character. It changes the entire game of the original's ending. It makes me hate Frey as a character. It makes me hate the Legacy spin-off show. I don't care if you're going to kill Klaus off. Well, I do care. But make it believable. Make it sure that it makes sense. But it doesn't. And originals for the first 4 seasons were very consistent. This final season, this final ending, this final inconsistency, the biggest one of all time, is just god awfully stupid. Biggest inconsistency by far. So, final verdict, if in case you haven't realized, The Vampire Diaries was a more faithful and better series finale. It was a great final goodbye to the fans. It didn't disrespect the fans' intelligence. It made each character special. Each character had their own arc. Each character was greatly improved upon. Each character had something to do in their final season. They had introduced new characters. The returning old characters did a great job. Did they have some inconsistencies? Yes. But nothing compared to the originals. The originals was just a build-up to the spin-off of the Legacy TV show, and it's piss poor. Biggest inconsistency, bringing a White Oak steak back. For the love of God, why did they bring that thing back? Doing terrible justice for the side characters with Vincent, Freya, Keelan. Not having Davina in the final episode. Again, I'm repeating that. Marcel and Rebecca, Jesus Christ. This show did a piss poor job with a lot of their characters. I'm sad to say this was a very poorly done series finale for the originals. It didn't respect the fans. It didn't respect its own intelligence. It just did not. So if we're going by grades, well, to me, Vampire Diaries Season 8 is my least favorite season of the Vampire Diaries. But I have a brand new appreciation for it. I'm giving it a solid B. I want to give it a B+, but we'll see in the near future. And the original's final season, C+. It's just okay. But allow me, that entire final episode and final arc of the White Oak Steak coming back dropped it from a B- to a C+. I can't go back to it. So everyone, that's my final verdict. Vampire Season 8 was a more faithful adaptation into the finale of their entire series, and they won this easy. So let me know what y'all think, everyone. Subscribe if you like, discredit that bomb, comment down below, let me know, respect your opinion, respect yours. If you stayed this long for the entire video to watch it and just to talk, just for listening to me to talk about vampires and originals, let me know what y'all think, everyone. Let me at least time. Everybody. Bye.